Hello and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program with me, Matthias Weiss. And yes, we are back in space for a second part of our interplanetary mission to Duna. And we are inside our KSS, Kerbal Space Station. I already transferred the standard crew, Jebediah, Bob and Bill Kerman over to our interplanetary transfer vehicle. And oh yeah, we are on the dark side at the moment. It's just before sunrise, it seems like. But to get a little bit more details, oh yeah, it's a little bit overpowered. So what we will do now is we will detach our lander, switch to the lander, activate RCS, and just push back a little bit. That should be enough for the moment. And of course we do the same here. Oh no, where can we undock? Let me undock, please. Control from here. Ah, there it is. Undock. Switch over. Nope, this one. And yeah, there we have Bob, Bill and Jebediah. Also activate the RCS and push back from the docking port. So there's only one problem with MacJab and switching crafts via this method. If I would try any of the function of MacJab right now, my space station would start to spin because MacJab still wants to control the space station and not our actual craft. So what we have to do is to switch real quick to the space center and back to the mission. When I've done that, we will continue. And we are back and ready for docking. So, target our atmospheric lander. And let's try to approach. We're still pretty close to the space station, so it's to be careful here. Not the space station, this one. Switch to the lander. Set as a target and CS on, and just to get it into a good position. Kill all rotation and back to our spacecraft. So see that we are moving a little bit downwards, and so we can make some easy corrections to get it to a better docking position. good. Let's go a little bit faster. Just bring it over. It's still a little bit laggy here because, yeah, because of our space station. 55 meters to go. Can a little bit faster down. Oh no, that was the wrong button. To that side. And a little bit faster. It's getting slowly but surely a little bit closer. Hope we get a nice docking maneuver this time. Not a total fail like the last time we tried. As you can see, it's our target is rotating a little bit, so I have to make some corrections as we get closer. Still need to get lower before we get too close. And 22 meters. Brake a little bit. Again, some minor corrections. But we're getting closer here. Okay. Let's see where we are. Coming in. Almost there. And there it is. Not a perfect docking. Whoa. Just a little bit, push back a little bit. Whoopa. Try to keep at least this stable, so maybe that works. Okay, come on. Stop wobbling around. And we're docked. Yeah, personally I think the docking clamp is a little bit too strong with the attraction, so it makes sometimes these wobbling effects, and it's not so, doesn't look so nice. Okay, now we should shut down our engines. And of course we don't need the lights anymore, so switch off the docking lights. And what is the next step? The next step in our journey will be to get up into a parking orbit. So we are facing our ship prograde. And what we want to do now is to boost into a 600 kilometer orbit. Why 600 kilometer? Because in 600 kilometers we can use a maximum time warp function. And we need to do that because we have to wait for the right phase angle to start our way to Duna. So, as it doesn't really matter where we start, we just start here, start our burn. And the lag should end pretty soon when we're far enough from our space station. Once it is more than 2.5 kilometers away, we should be fine. I don't really like this lag, but so many parts. And okay, 250 kilometers. Yeah, we have 8,000 meters per second delta V inside our actual stage. That should be more than enough to get us to Duna and back. That's 300 kilometers. And actually we're not going for 600 kilometers exactly. We are going for something like 620 or a little bit more, so we can definitely use the maximum time warp function. Yeah. Let's take a look on the map. I don't know why, but these engines are overheating a little bit, but it's no issue. They can burn at maximum, they won't explode. 500 kilometers. 600. Let's cut it by 620. Okay. Warp to the apoapsis. And let's go prograde again. And just get it up over 600 kilometers here too, so everything should be fine. Yeah, now that we are docked, we can also take a closer look at our lander. It's a two-stage lander. We have the landing stage with a small fuel tank here, which feeds into the main tank, which then feeds into the outer tanks. Has plenty of fuel. So for the landing, which is supported by drug chutes and normal parachutes. For the landing phase, it's small fuel tanks should be efficient enough. I also added 4 of these fuselage thingies here, but only for one reason: to get a bigger base, because I figured that it's a pretty high lander, and with only the landing legs attached to the main body, it tends to fall over, and that's something we really don't want on Duna. Okay. So it doesn't really matter if we end up in a little bit elliptical orbit. All what matters is that we achieve an orbit which is well, the periapsis is higher than 600 kilometers. Okay. That should be sufficient. Okay. And another thing which I will just do real quick, we have our crew here. This is just our reserve crew, because the actual landing will be performed by Jebediah and I think I use Jebediah and Bob. Yes, Jebediah and Bob. Come on. So for the main journey, we switch everything off in our lander craft, so everyone will fly over to this hitchhiker container here. Oops. Okay, everything's prepared now, and I'll now be accelerating, time accelerating until we get to the phase angle we want, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, welcome back. I just brought us into the right position for our burn. This should be, it's a little bit eyeballed because I don't want to use any real tools here, but it's 44.38, And the ejection angle should be somewhere here, so all we have to do now is start burning prograde and burn until we leave, not only until we leave the sphere of influence, but until we get an intersection with the orbit of Duna. If we, this will take a while, so if we take a look at the map, we have Kerbin on this axis, and Duna is at the moment 44.38 degrees ahead of us. So our plan is to meet Duna over here. So we don't. The thing is, with this kind of I think it's a Hohmann transfer. With this kind of maneuver, we get an encounter exactly or almost exactly when we are at our apoapsis, final orbit, elliptical orbit, of course. And normally we could, of course, use the atmosphere of Duna to make some aero braking and give us some assistance in slowing down, but the spacecraft has plenty of fuel on board, so it's absolutely possible to just use the power of our engine to slow us down and get us into a circular orbit around Duna. And that's exactly what we will do. We will use engine power to get into orbit. Yeah, as you see, this is the moon orbit, and it just takes a very, very long time to burn. We can try this. Add a maneuver node here. See how long it will take. I think it will be something around there was an encounter. Yeah, it's still 650 meters per second delta V to burn. And as you see, it's a very, very slow process because our nuclear engines, they are really not that strong. We have a current thrust to weight ratio of 1.27, but this is actually wrong because it says our total thrust is 240 kilonewton, but that is for all 4 engines, so it's only half of it. So we have a thrust to weight ratio lower than 1 at the moment. The whole spacecraft has still a weight of 80 tons. 80 tons is quite a bit. And most of it is fuel. It's just fuel. If you see that, we just burned half a tank of these tanks. And we have 2 of them, and we have additional fuel here. So when there's one thing on this mission which won't be an issue, then it's fuel. Okay, let's see, where are we? Yeah, I'm very sorry, but I can't accelerate the burn here, and it's the estimated burn time was is still 5 minutes, but I think this is also wrong, because this also keeps in mind that we're using all our 4 engines. So it's more like a 10-minute burn. Maybe, or no. Well, 5 minutes might be correct. I mean, once we are our apoapsis moves into interstellar would be nice, interplanetary space, it gets a lot faster, and but the first times it's just annoying to wait. And all I can do is hope that we get a good Duna encounter, but last time I tried it this way it worked pretty good. At the moment it's still looking fine, so... I mean, we have a journey of half a year, I think, or something like that, just in front of us. So there's plenty of time to make some corrections if it doesn't end up in a perfect orbit. Because we don't need this, we just can delete it. Because, yeah, we are actually using the mathematical data. Oh, there would be a... Oh, we could have used the moon for gravity assist, but it's not needed here. I'm curious, might be we get a Minmus encounter too. I don't know. We will see. And there we are. We're going into interplanetary space. Yeah, as I told you, we are now waiting for this point to intersect with for our apoapsis to intersect with the orbit of Duna. And once we got that, we should get an encounter too. Phase angle is, yeah, almost correct, but our ejection angle was not so perfect. So maybe we have to overshoot a little bit, but with this lot of fuel on board, it just doesn't matter. Okay, so we are getting closer and closer. What we do now is we can throttle down. wait for an encounter. Let's see. Well, there's the closest approach. Okay. So, right now we will get an encounter, and the periapsis is, oh no. What we can do now, it's yeah, periapsis of 31 million. But yes, it's very sensitive, so we can in fact get it closer even with pushing back with our RCS thrusters. So just a tiny correction, I can show it. All I'm doing now is pushing back with RCS, and it's crazy. Oh. Okay, the closest encounter we can get is around 25, 24, 600. Okay. That's about as close as it gets, but it's okay. It's a start. What we have to do now is wait. Of course, this is boring as hell. So I will. Oh, no, I don't. I won't skip this. This is a full mission, so you have to watch that. Okay. Just to make sure everything. We still have an encounter when I go into time warp. Just make a quick save here. And now we're ready to go out. But there's one thing I want to check before we actually go for the encounter. Because it looks like that, yeah. This is not so good. Let's try to... Well, this would be a polar encounter. That's... no, we don't want that. So let's try to get it a little bit better. Let's see. We can bring it down. Which function is it? Where do I have to burn? Well, you know what? We will do that once we are at apoapsis. How about that? So let's take a last look. Still have an encounter? Yes. Let's take a last look at Kerbin as we head out into interplanetary space. And there it goes. And there's interplanetary space. So let's warp to the apoapsis. It should be sometime. Oh, our encounter's gone. Let's see what is going wrong here. Oh no, let's see. Let's still warp to the apoapsis. Won't be a problem to get a new encounter. Sometimes, yeah. The system just does not work as intended. So Duna is a target, but the closest approach is here. Just passing the ascending node. Ah, there's the encounter again. Yes, you see it's an polar encounter, which is not what we want. So we have to bring it down. So let's try this. Just thrust that direction. But I don't think it might be exactly the wrong direction. Yeah, it is wrong. So anti-normal. Anti-normal should be fine. At the moment it's 44 million kilometers. Yeah. Seven, 36, 35. This looks far better. We had it a little bit better before, so let's try to get it. Close is better. This should be fine. So let's warp to the sphere of influence, which let's see what happens once Duna catches up with us. And there's the sphere of influence. Let's see. Well, that's okay. Still a little bit inclined, but inclination of 2.407. That's okay. So, time for thrusting retrograde, because we want to slow down and get into orbit. And this is just full thrust and keep burning. Let's see, can we see Duna already? Where is it? There's the sun. Oh, there's Duna. And Ike. Still have 6,800 in total as a delta V on the whole craft combined with this fuel, but yeah, still a little bit fuel in the first tank, then a full second tank, and these outer tanks too. The atomic rocket motors are just amazing. So let's add a maneuver here and see. Oh, that was too much. Let's see how much delta V do we need. Around 1,000. And the trick is, what we will do here is not only will we get into an orbit, but we will also take the chance that we are so far outside here to reverse our orbit, because it's better for us to be in a highly not highly, in a reverse orbit. So we don't want an inclination of 0 degrees. We want an inclination of 180 degrees. So we're going against the orientation of the rotation of against the rotation of Duna. Let's see, just whoa. Just slowly see how much. Okay, 650 meters. It's a 6-minute burn. That's quite a lot. So yeah, these rocket engines are really not so strong as ones, but they are so damn fuel efficient. So right now there's not really an alternative if you want to go into interstellar. I always want to say interstellar, interplanetary space. These are your only real alternative, otherwise you're just throwing away tons of fuel which you have to carry into orbit in the first place. So for everything outside the sphere of influence of Kerbin, these are at the moment the only realistic option. Of course you can go there with other, but yeah. other engines, but these are by far the most efficient. Well, yeah, you have to be patient and accept that you have there are times where you have to make a 20-minute burn. I don't know, 20 or 10-minute burn. It gets even worse if you try to send out probes with ion engines, and yeah, then you have to realize that sometimes you're burning for an hour straight. No, we don't want to set Hike as a target. We want to set Duna as a target. Can't target Duna from here. Ah, focusing on Duna is okay, but I can't select it as a target. Strange. Okay. Let's be a little bit more fuel efficient and do the rest of the burn at periapse. Near periapse. 2 minutes burning time remaining to get us at least into this kind of orbit. We can kill the maneuver node because we will see it soon enough. It still seems like we're just like a straight flyby, but actually it will curve around the planet very soon. And if you take a look at the global map, you see that, yeah, our periapse is rising. It's no longer near Kerbin. And now the Duna escape is also rising, which is always a good sign. And now you can see that it's definitely curving around. Okay, first tank is empty. If you want to be real fuel efficient, you can add another decouple and throw it away once it's empty, but to be honest, the empty weight of these tanks is not so high, and it's just one tank, and I don't want to leave any space junk lying around here. There we go. Circular orbit, and now we're going for an ellipse. But if you look, you have an inclination of 2 degrees, which is not too bad. It's minimum inclined, so that's totally okay for us. But what we try to do. So there was an icon counter. What we will do is we will just reverse our orbit here. And that's it. We overcooked a little bit. We want a Duna periapse of around 70 kilometers. So 61 is okay. Let's warp to the periapse. Our mission time is already 111 days. Quite a lot. And yeah, as you can see here in time acceleration, we are now going against the rotation of Duna, which is helpful when we want to go back to Kerbin. So what we're doing now is we're just going to stabilize. We're just going to yeah, circularize our orbit here. Ooh. No, we don't want an icon counter like that. See, yeah, half a fuel tank left, plus these, plus everything which will be inside the lander once we return. So we have more than enough fuel to get our crew back to Kerbin. Okay. Almost there. Let's see. Let's just warp once around the planet. Yeah, the engine power is really low, especially if you're close to the center of gravity. These engines really take a long time to burn. Okay. And we are almost there. 75 kilometers. That's looking good. What we do now is trying to get the inclination, get rid of the inclination. Or for as much inclination as possible. But yeah, I promise you this will be the wrong direction, as I know myself. Oh no, actually this is correct. Oh, this will be almost perfect. That's perfect enough. Okay. Let's make a quick save here. And yeah. We are ready for the most interesting part. We are ready to land on Duna. But not in this episode, I'm afraid. This is almost, not almost, this is already a much too long episode to watch, so I promise in the next episode we will have the landing. It will be only a short episode for landing and a little bit of EVA stuff. But yeah, next episode landing. Right now we're finished with that. Thank you for watching. My name is Matthias Weiss and see you in part number 3 of my interplanetary mission to Duna.